Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Watch as I decorate this tree for Christmas. The first thing I do is I start with my large red ornaments. I add wire onto the top of the ornaments and I twist it onto the branches. I start with all one color and I start with the largest ball size of that color, if that makes sense. So I grabbed all the large red one first. After I attach these in all spread out around the tree, I'm going to go one size down with the same color and twist them onto the branches. That way I can kind of make sure that the red color is spread out around the tree and not clustered in one spot. When I get down to my smaller ornaments, a lot of times I group them together in groups of 3 or 4 and I just twist them all together on a piece of wire and I attach them in. I love the look of these little ornament clusters. Another thing that I do is some of my larger ornaments I have right at the tip of a branch and other ones I have deeper in the tree. In this video you can kind of see I try to have them at different depths of the tree. So I added in all my different reds. Then I'm going to move on to my next color. And again, I'm going to start with the largest size first. So my next color is pink. And I started with the largest ones, added the wire, and I'm going to twist them on. And again, you just want to spread them out around the tree so that they're not all right in the same spot. Gotta love a little snack break. Now that I've added in all my normal ornaments, I have a couple random fun ones. I have 2 of these pink disco balls. So I'm going to stick these ones in. And then after this, we're going to start adding in some of the more random ornaments here and there. Here is a close-up of how the tree is starting to look. And I'm trying to avoid a Valentine's Day looking tree, so I'm going to be adding in some greens and golds later. Next, I'm going to be adding in a bunch of these small little red berry picks that I have. I'm just scattering these all over. I have a ton of them, so we're just going to put them from top to bottom all the way around. And then we are going to be adding in some ribbon curls. So I have this 1-inch pink and gold velvet ribbon, and I'm going to be making little bows with this ribbon and leaving pretty long tails so that I can curl the tails. For this bow, I'm doing 3 loops on each side, so 6 loops total with 2 really long tails. If you go back to my YouTube channel, I have a ton of different step-by-step tutorials for making different types of bows, because I know like just watching this video is kind of hard to see exactly what I'm doing if you're a beginner. But I'm basically just making the bow. I'm going to tie floral wire around it, and then I'm going to use the same wire to just twist it right onto one of the tree branches. Here is a close-up of what the bow looks like after I attached it onto the tree. And then I just curled the tails. Now we're going to be working on the tree topper bow. This one is a lot bigger of a bow. Like I said on my channel, I have more step-by-step tutorials. This is going to be a very quick little video. First, I want to figure out how long I want my tail. And then I pinch the ribbon and I make my first loop. I usually just eyeball it depending on the size of the tree and the look that I'm going for. I see how big of a loop that I want, and that's how I measure. So this one is a pretty big bow. So this is going to be my back layer of my bow, and I'm going to do 2 loops on each side with the 2 tails hanging down. For my bows, I always use a 1 yard long piece of floral wire, and I fold it in half so that there's a slip knot, like a little loop that I can put the ends through and pull it tight like a slip knot. So I'm going to tie a little knot in this wire once I get the bow nice and tight in the center. Tie a knot, and then my next layer that I make, I can attach right onto this layer and use the same wire to tie that on. Since this is the back layer of my bow, I'm going to use this as a guide for each additional layer. I'm going to make each layer after this slightly smaller. So with this next ribbon, I'm going to kind of make sure the tails are the same length. And then I'm going to start making my loops. And like I said, I just want it slightly smaller than the loops that are for this red bow. So I'm going to get that loop ready, and then I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to make sure it's the size that I want. And this layer is just going to be a single loop on each side, because I just want a little bit of pink popping out. Make sure both sides are the same size. And I'm just going to add this right on top of that last layer I did, and use the same piece of wire to just tie another knot around this to hold it on. Next, I have this awesome multicolor glitter ribbon, and this layer I am going to do 2 loops again on each side. So I'm going to measure out the tail, make sure it's about the same length, and then I'm going to start making my loops. And like I said, you want these loops just a little bit smaller than the last size. Here is another ribbon, so this is going to be the next layer. Measure out the tail, and I'm going to start making the loops. This is a light pink sequin type of ribbon. I got it at Walmart. And I'm going to do 2 loops on each side again for this layer. All right, here I am twisting the bow topper onto the top branch of the tree, and I use the same wire to just tie directly around that branch. And then you'll kind of want to fluff your bow, make sure it looks good from different angles, and then I add picks next that kind of shoot out every direction from behind my bows. And sometimes you just stab them down into the tree, and sometimes they'll stay really well, and then other times you have to use a piece of the branch to kind of hold the stem of the pick in place. Now I'm going to be adding some ribbon loops to the tree. I'm going to be layering these two ribbons, one on top of the other. And I'm going to make a little tail, pinch it, and then make one single loop and pinch it again. And then I'm going to leave a really long tail, because I'll kind of have it cascading down the tree after I attach it in. I'm also going to add some green ones. It's a tail, one loop, and then a really long tail. So I kind of just like make a little loop, pinch, twist it on, and then I just roll the edges up a little bit. And then here is a close-up video of what it looks like. So I just add the green ribbon kind of throughout and some of the pink and gold ones randomly around. Next I have some of these fun little curly red picks. I'm just going to be adding them in just randomly, sticking them just directly into the tree. At this point you can really get like just about anything you want to add onto your tree. You can add more picks, you can do little small ornaments, you could be done. I like mine really like jam-packed full of stuff. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. I know it was kind of it was a pretty long video, but it went through the process pretty quickly. So if you have any questions, you can leave me a comment, and thanks for watching. Check out some of my other videos on my page.